connect Asian business to develop market among Asian and other partner countries, which is co-organized by Vietnam High Quality Product Business Association and Vietnam Embassy in Thailand Trade Office. We highly appreciate you to take time, your busy schedule, to join us today. We hope you will get useful information and build up the new business relationship in this event. The event today includes two parts. The first part is the seminar with the main language in English, and the second part is business matching. For the second part, we prepare some interpreter, Thai with and English with. Please do not hesitate to ask for the support if necessary. Ladies and gentlemen, the key purpose of the seminar is to provide information of the retail trend in Asia and together share their development and commercialization experience in a global food safety and standard compliance for the market development between Asian countries and partner countries. At the seminar today, it's our honor to have the presence of Madam Vũ Kim Hạnh, Chairperson of Vietnamese High Quality Product Business Association. Please welcome. Please welcome Mr. Chaiwat Hamsamwong, Chairman of Thai Small and Medium Enterprise Council. Please welcome Mr. Somchai Sarawat, Secretary of Asian Trade Promotion Association. Please welcome Mr. Sithichai Kruvatikul, Vice President of Asian Trade Promotion Association. Please welcome Mr. Pascal Bullon, CEO of the Central Food Retail Group, GI, Ambassador in Asia of UN. Please welcome Mr. Nguyễn Lam Vinh, Chairperson, General Director of Vinamilk Organic. Please welcome Mr. Kenny Lee, KN, Executive Director of Cỏ Mây, Singapore, Distributor of Cỏ Mây Group in Singapore. And from Vietnam side, we have about 20 leading companies of Vietnam in food and agriculture product industry. And from international side, we have present of the biggest distributor in Thailand, such as Central Group, The Mall Group, BGC, Casino Global Sourcing, and more than 30 other companies from Asian countries. And once again, we thank you for your attendance this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, for the starting the seminar, let's overview the retail trend in Asian market. We would like to invite Mr. Phước Nguyễn, MBA, the only Vietnamese member of Singapore Management University International Council of Economy and Retail, to give the speak on that topic. And please welcome to the stage Mr. Phước Nguyễn.
Hello, how you guys doing? So sorry we started so late, so I'll just make my presentation as quick as possible so we got time for the other participants. Okay. So just let me reintroduce myself again, just briefly. So Singapore Management University, in short SMU, they set up a program with IE Spring Singapore, which is a government program for development, for developing countries, and to bring SMEs from countries to countries cross borders. So I am the representative of Vietnam for that council, where SMU work exclusively with IE Spring. So Madam Kim Han and the association asked me to present a bit about insights from reports from that program. So SMU and IE Spring Singapore, for every year they will put out a lot of reports about retail, about digital, and about trends that going for now until 2020, 2025. So the presentation is going to be a bit in general, but I will go deeper into digital trends because it's going to be big in the next 5 to 10 years. So the agenda is that I'm going to give a very brief outlook on the market outlook of Asia and C. It's not only Southeast Asia, but it's going to be Asia because we got China, we got India, we got Japan and Korea. All those four are the one that drives all the technologies and all the digital transformation in our continent. So if we leave them out, then we cannot get context behind all the technologies development. Then we're going to talk about new trends. So we're going to talk about 3 new trends, that the new form of commerce. Then we talk about O2O 2.2, and we talk about immersive shopping experience, and a few points that we, the International Council in Singapore, talk about companies that should change, or at least should implement for the next 2 to 5 years, actually, to enhance the trend. So this is very, very generic information. As you can see that Southeast Asia is the most attractive region. We got a lot of young people. We got a lot of middle class population. So as you can see that we got 650 million population and 3 trillion USD GDP. The most important thing is that our region's population is very young, 28.8 on average age. So 28.8, why is it so important? Because it's a crucial stage in life. So you all will celebrate your 30th birthday. So 28.8 is preset to that very important stage. So you got so you graduated at 22, 21 for someone. So now you have already got 6, 7 years of working experience. You might have already started your second job, saying every time that we start our new job, we're going to get increase in salary and income. So this is where people started to step into middle income class, where they're young, they're very sophisticated, and they know, they have knowledge, they know how to spend money and where to spend it. And we got, okay, there is that now. So 49%, you can look at the presentation, which is fine. You can look at the slide, which is fine. I put everything in there. So 49% of the population live in urban area. So why is that important? Because for Vietnam, the misconception is that the population is young, but mainly the population live in rural area, which is not true anymore. So now most of the people, most of the young, most of the engine that drive the purchasing power actually live in urban areas, and they migrating. The only concern thing about that is that the population growth rate has been increasing over the years, as you can see in the graph. I put it out from Deloitte. So you can see that now the population is maturing. So we don't get less and less young people over the next 20 years. I mean, because we build business to last, so we have to look at 20, 25 years vision. So in 20 years, Southeast Asia will not be as young as we want anymore. So we have to prepare for our strategy and our companies actually cope with the aging population in the next 10 years. Internet penetration for Southeast Asia about 51%. For Asia, because we include China, Japan, and Korea, 3 of them are the highest, like like the top of the world in terms of internet penetration and mobile penetration. So the number skyrocketed to 84%, and then mobile is almost 100%. Means almost everyone got a smartphone. So to the next slide, the market outlook. So as I just mentioned before, that the middle class is growing, and middle class is where we're looking at. So Deloitte and Statista and Euromonitor, they classify middle class quite in big range from 20K to 200K USD income, annual income, which is huge, yeah. So let's say in Vietnam we got about what 6-7K annual. Then we go into Singapore, we got about 40K, 60K annual income. So the annual income class in Southeast Asia and Asia is quite huge, but it's growing very fast. According to Deloitte, the middle class sector will grow into 480 million people in 2020. So 2 years from now, we got 500 million people market there, so we have to focus on that. If you look into the graph, the lighter column will show the percentage of middle class for in the population of a certain country, and the darker column show the growth rate of the middle class in that area. Facebook penetration is very high, 63%. The current trend that we're looking at is that gamification also, because we have already known that China, Vietnam, Thailand, Korea and Japan, they're driving the mobile games and video games quite fast. Especially the Thailand industry, they always got global version of mobile games plus in Southeast Asia just after Singapore. So now a lot of young people, they play mobile games, and through mobile games and through the gamification model, brands can actually get closer to younger generation. The next thing that I would just point out is that Vietnam just recorded an all-time high retail revenue last year, that we got almost $130 billion in retail sales. Modern trade is currently contributing about 25% of the revenue, but we forecasting it to be 45% by 2020. So 45% of $130 billion is very huge. If you look into the slides, then we can see that a few increase in certain industries, and we can see that all the sales value, they increased by 40%. Gemstone and precious metal is going to be about 30.2%. Food and related products, 11%. Educational and cultural products going to be about 10.2%. And the most important thing is that apparel is 9.6%. So we see that most of the industry that we are working on is growing at double digits, and it's good news. Slides. It's fine. Let's move on to the new important trends. So we talk about the outlook, which is very generic in general. But now we talk about trends. I will talk about 3 new trends. So for the past 10 years, we've been talking about e-commerce, meaning online retail. The 2 new trends that are being embraced now in the region and started by China is M-commerce and S-commerce. M-commerce is short for mobile commerce, and S-commerce is social commerce. There's actually another form that merged 2 of them, but then our region is not ready for that model yet. So by the end of 2025, Southeast Asia online retail is expected to hit about 90%, according to Statista. As you can see from the two graphs, I don't know if you can. The graph is a bit too small. So I'll just explain the graph. So the first graph is percentage of the reason why people choose to go to a physical store. The second graph is the reason why people choose to go to online stores, basically to purchase online. So you can see that the Generation Z and millennials, they always try to avoid shipping costs, and if you want to buy something immediately, you go to the physical store. But if you're not in a rush, you will just go to online stores because it saves you a lot of time, it gives you a lot of comfort, and the reason that a lot of people that choose online store is that they provide free shipping. So something so trivial actually contribute to the decision-making process quite heavily. So free shipping, packaging, and all kind of miscellaneous thing that we previously considered as trivial, now it's playing a lot of it's playing a huge role in decision-making for younger generation. According to Deloitte annual report of 2017, if a consumer they decided to shop online and then they decided to pay online, 40% of them they will prefer to use the retailer's app. So basically, if we go into Lotte or Central Group, we will prefer to use the dedicated payment app of Central Group, and then 36% of us will prefer to use a third-party app, which is Samsung Pay, Apple Pay. Now we got Grab Pay, and the 36% will use the retailer website. Company are encouraged to create a complete shopping experience on social media via mobile. In Vietnam, Aeon and Lotte both launched their online platform within 6 months after going into Vietnam. 7-Eleven, before they even set up their first store, they actually hired a team of 30, 50 engineers to build their online platform, and then after that they just bought the whole team. So 7-Eleven go into Vietnam way behind all kind of convenience stores like Family Mart or all kind of mini stop and things like Circle K. So they go into Vietnam with a very distinctive strategy. They go into Vietnam as a social experience place, a hub for young people, for people to go there and enjoy the time. They're not focusing on much of the retailing, but they're focusing much on the experience, how the consumer will feel about the atmosphere, about the outlook of the store. They create the concept of mini meal. They're not selling snacks anymore. They're selling mini meals, and most of the consumers they will have the membership cards, and you earn points and you redeem points just buying snacks like tteokbokki and all kind of that in there. We go into the next one is the O2O 2.2. So O2O is offline to online. I'll just go here first. O2O 2.2. So offline to online now, online back to immersive offline experience. Why we got that? O2O has been there for about 15 years. E-commerce, all kind of telephone sales and things like that. We were trying to get your stuff, your products to be selling online. Consumers are not looking for price anymore. They're looking for experience. They're looking for experience, new way of shopping, additional services, added value, and so on, to be exact. So as you can see, O2O returns as a mainstream method, including locker services. About 5 years ago, I was among the team of SingPost that pioneered the O2O 2.0. So SingPost at the point of time, they just recognized that Singaporeans they don't shop on Singaporean-based e-commerce website. So they launched a project to discover why is that. So the thing is that Singaporean they don't shop on Singapore-based website because they don't provide international shipping at all. So they shop at eBay, they shop at Qoo10, they shop at Amazon, Alibaba. All four of them they provide international shipping. So SingPost they launched the locker services. So basically they set up their office in every single big country, so North America, South America, China, Japan, Korea, and they get a dedicated address there. So any Singaporean that shop on a Singapore-based website, they can ship their product directly to the address, and then the people of SingPost in that country, they will ship the products back to the locker. So I was among the team that go around Singapore to choose for HDB, condo, and apartments to set up lockers. And whenever you buy something and you got shipped back to Singapore, they will text you a QR code or they text you a 6-digit password. with the location, or you can choose the location you prefer. You just go to the locker, get a number, key in the QR code, and then key in the passcode and scan the QR code and you get the products out. 7-Eleven is doing the same thing 24/7. Talk about new experience of shopping. So you know that every year that in the States we got Cyber Monday and we got Black Friday. In China we got Single Day. So in 2017, Single Day, Alibaba they broke their record again. Like they got $25 billion US dollar revenue, and it increased by 39% compared to 2016, which is huge because economists, they didn't forecast that. They say that the growth is going to be slowing down because 2016 already a record-breaking year of selling. So how could Alibaba do it? So they partner with 100,000 physical stores, brick and mortar, 100,000 chains of brick and mortar, and then that included took over more than 600,000 POS point of sales, and they launched the facial recognition system where you can buy on Alibaba. You go to the store, you pick it up, or you can go to the store. So you say you're Alibaba customers, you buy things, and then you just look at the camera. They scan your face, and just that you press OK, and you pay for it. You don't have to bring your credit cards. You don't have to bring your cash. You don't have to bring anything. Everything is shipped back to your house. So they increase the revenue by a lot. So that's a very advanced way of cashless payment, which is a huge trend next year and next 5 years. So last week I just came back from Singapore, went there to have a meeting with eBay. So eBay is expanding very fast into Southeast Asia. They will go to Thailand and Vietnam very dedicatedly. So eBay said that they are working with Singapore management, with Singapore government to actually standardize the point of POS system. So now if you go to Singapore, you go to any store or any restaurant, you see a lot of POS machine, which is very confusing. Which cards we should use, which account are we using, or if we lose this, will they just remember our phone number or something like that? So now Singapore government, they trying to decrease multiple the many number of POS into one. So they just make one integrated POS machine, which every single company will have to use that platform. So now the decision is to kill off all the small POS machine. And they're doing that, they're piloting it in Bugis and in Orchard. So if you go to Singapore, you go to those areas, you will see that most of the stores have only one POS machine where you can use any kind of card on that. So that's a cashless payment. The usage of Samsung Pay, Apple Pay, the third party in Southeast Asia also grew a lot, from 0.7% to 2.4% within the last 12 months, according to Deloitte. So if you go to Vietnam now, you can actually pay a lot by Apple Pay, Grab Pay, and Samsung Pay, especially the taxi, which is very, very huge. We talk about the immersive and the O2O 2.0. So last year, Lotte, they actually launched their O2O 2.0, that they tried to create the offline feeling of their online stores. So they brought their offline products to the online stores, and they're trying to create the offline feeling of the store, of the physical stores, to the online platform, because they just figured out that going online is a bit too bland, like it's not personalized enough. Because most of the time, if you work in e-commerce, I used to profile e-commerce company about 5 years ago in Singapore, and we expanded to Thailand, Taiwan, Malaysia, Singapore, and Hong Kong, and Philippines. According to the data, people still prefer to call to confirm first. So they want personal interaction. They look at the stores, the cold outlook of the stores, of the online stores. They just cannot figure it out. So, and then they try to create the personalized feeling of an online store. So they will have chatbots. They will have 3D outlook of the stores. You can actually go there, navigate, go to the shelves and things like that. Or if you can go to the physical stores, they will have 3D scanner to actually scan your body to get the figures, or scan your feet to get all the figures, and then from there the retail seller, they know all the data, and they can actually consult you better, like, okay, what kind of size, what kind of style, and things like that. This one is just crimping on the top. You guys definitely know about this. The Siam Paragon and OCAP 21, so I'm going to skip that. We're going into the last part of this. This is the 5 points that SMU and IE3 has been trying to spread across the region, because I spearheading this in Vietnam and struggling a lot. So the first thing is that digitalize everything. So I've been spending the last 2 years going around companies across the country. We try to get companies to actually put their data on cloud, because now if you store everything on paper or on hard drive, it's slow and then it's dangerous. But then the sad fact is that not many Vietnamese companies are ready to digitalize their data. So now, because the companies in Vietnam are still like 20, 25 years old, at this point of time is that the directors have the next generation of the previous owner, of the original owner. So the sons and the daughters, like they keep a lot of responsibility for themselves. They don't delegate. So now if they go around the country or they travel outside of the country, then digitalize and all kind of like building network, it's sucks there. We're working with Minh Long, working with Trung Nguyen, working with a few more to try to get them to digitalize their data and put on cloud and things like that. Like we already got AWS as our official partner in Vietnam to provide all cloud services. But basically, like Vietnamese company are not ready or not ready. I don't know anything about Thai company though. I hope that you guys are ready to digitalize it. The second thing is that study and apply S-commerce and M-commerce, standardize and improve your online presence, social and digital health. The funny thing is that everybody going to Facebook, but nobody's trying to Google yourself on Google, like literally. Like, I mean, I don't know any one of you if have ever tried Google your distribution channel system on Google to see if the address is correct, if the phone number is correct, if the photos of the outlet is correct or not. Of the 15 companies I've been working with, about 12 of them got everything wrong on Google. Like they only get the name right. Address is not correct. Phone number is outdated. Email is from someone they fired about 2 years ago. Photo is all over the places. And because of that, if you want to go, because Facebook has been changing their algorithm a lot, which make Facebook is not a reliable source of communication anymore. And because you got your website is yours, you decided it. And if you don't use your website on Google to actually enhance the presence, it makes no sense to me, and it's a waste of time and a waste of resources. And a lot of companies they don't do it well. Like they got a fancy website, but built by the old technology, which create a heavy workload, like slow loading. So when we benchmarking most of the websites, they score very low, and they question why like nobody go to the website, no traffic. They want to do AdSense and things like that. Like, oh wow, we cannot do it. So if you really want to go to S-commerce and M-commerce, first you have to standardize it and make at least improve your ranking on Google first. The third thing is that because we have been working for the last 40, 50 years, I mean, before even Facebook, internet or whatever become huge, so we got a system of brick and mortar. And if you go to Singapore, you saw a lot of hawker centers, you saw a lot of like small stores, physical stores. And the thing is that Singapore, they don't want to destroy those because that's a waste of resource and a waste of people there. So what we're trying to do is that we got training courses that digitalize the brick and mortar stores. We try to set up several digital and social triggers most of the stores, like we got panels that you can actually do surveys on there, or we got tablets where you can order in restaurant and we collect your data from there. You don't have to talk to anybody if you are antisocial. But if you want to talk to people, they see you there. So you can order on a tablet, you can pay on a tablet, you can use your Samsung Pay to pay there, everything is seamless. Things like that. And we still have people that actually consult on things. And we get an open 3D VR system that actually allow consumers to go to the store, key in the square meters of the house, the number of rooms, the structure, and then you just drag and drop your furniture inside to see how it fits. Jumwing is doing the same thing with that. So they're gonna go into like very huge real estate project, added value, additional services, and extra amounts. So free shipping, like personalized packaging, and all kind of that is very good. The last thing is very big because maybe the second most important things, second to this. Because the population in Southeast Asia very young, and because they're young, they're quite rebellious. The way that we have been monitoring influencers and KOL for the last 5 years is that the more you use more household names, we're not talking about like Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber or something like that, but we use like household local names, then they increase the cost a lot, but the feeling is not like very effective because people look at supermodels, you cannot feel related, like tell me look at the supermodels and tell me to feel related, I can't feel related to it. So channel sites say that if you build your own influencer, they will increase the add to basket rate by 74% for the past 2 years. This is where we've been looking. 161% higher time per section and 127 more pages per section. Means if we got our user generated content, the influencer that we grow were actually our exact like real customers, then the effect is very good. So these are the 5 points that I've been trying to spread across Vietnam, and I'm very happy to share with you guys here. If you guys have any questions, then I think we can do it after all the presentations, I think. So thank you for your time, and very happy to be here, and we'll be happier to get any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vương Nguyễn, for your useful and realistic information. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Samchai Sarawat, Secretary of Asian Trade Promotion Association. Thank you for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Innovation 4.0, the technology and consuming trend have changing very fast. This is the challenge, but also the opportunity for SME if they can take advantage and you understand this trend. Next, please welcome Mr. Chaiwat Han Samwang, Chairman of Thailand SME, who will deliver the presentation of the futurists of SMEs Asian countries. Please welcome.
Yes, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, as the chairman of the Thai SME Council, it was very honorable for the invitation to make a presentation of the future life for Asian SME country. Before I step in the topic of the future lives for Asian SME Council, I would like to give some brief background of the Thai SME Council. The Thai SME Council has first established in 2014 by 30 association, foundation, and industry cluster. Accounting members allowed to participate 20,000. Today, in 2018, we have all the consisting of more than 150 association, foundation, and industry cluster, connected with all the members, more than 250,000 members. Our mission, our vision first, I'm sorry. Sorry, I have to look at something. Build up the Thai SME opportunity to be excellence and globalization based on self-sufficient economy. This is our vision 4 years ago. And until today, before I step in, I would like to thank you very much, Mr. Phuket. He made some presentation of the ASEAN community. In my record in 2015, we have at the time only 620 million people in this region. And last year we have 650 million, about 13 million more for just only 3 years. And for the GDP, is at the time it's 2.5 billion US dollar, but last year is 3 billion US dollar. So before I step forward, I'd like to provide some more detail regarding the ASEAN SME, that what is the share of the total employment. In Asia, unbelievable, we have the total employment share starting from 51% up to 97% of the employment. The second, the share of the total establishment is running from 89% up to 99%. This means that in this region, we have more than 89 up to 99% of the SME in this region. This means that for the last organization in this region is running from 1% up to 10%. So what does this mean? SME is the backbone economic of this region. I'm sorry, it's not in this region, in the world. Everywhere in the world of the developing country, they're based on the building up based on the SME part. I would like to further a little bit more information that in the EU community, they same before they join together with the eastern part of Europe, they have the law implement for each country, each member. They said that the law have to think small first. It's a law of the economy. Now when they are in the community of the EU, all the economic law, they will support among the SME of each country. So, I give to that part, and more than that, for the share of the total export, unbelievable. We mainly, the population in this region is an employee of the SME part. But for the export market, for ASEAN country, it's running just from 10 to 30%. Why is present more than 1/3 of the total population as an employee in this region? It means that our economic situation, our driving force of the economy here is belong to the last organization. Instead that the SME is present of all more than 1/3 of the people here. So when the last organization, they're growing up, they have that high GDP, but what about the people working in the SME part? In Thailand as well. I think that they were sorry, I don't want to touch about the political part, but provide some information that last year or even the first quarter of this year, Thailand has the GDP is a 4.6%. But a lot of people here, especially SME, still said, my God, why I still not get something? Why the people are not still struggle? I think that not only in Thailand, in this region it's the same, because we are in the neighbor country and we have not very much different regarding the agriculture. Our culture is not much different. So now what happened? The GDP contribution last year in Thailand, we have around nearly 4% of the GDP growing. But what happened? The GDP contribution from SME is only 40%. You look in the like our Asia country neighbor, you can say that Japan, you can say that South Korea, you can talking about Singapore, you talking about mainland China. If everybody understands that the contribution of the GDP from that country is more than 60%. Some people say that in the past it's 80%, but now it's only 60-70%. Why? Because during the past 2 decades, they support all the small and medium enterprise to growing up. When they're growing up, they go small, they're stronger to be medium, and the medium, they're stronger to be the large organization. So the contribution is less. But the foundation of that economic part is really strong. Why, when they have the problem of the GDP growing, SME have less problem. But if the country still belong to the large organization, yes, in Thailand we have not more than 10,000 companies that represent more than 60% of GDP in the country. But we have 3 million, more than 3 million, 3.1, totally not more than 3.1 million of the company in Thailand. Nearly 3 million is belong to SME, micro, small and medium. And we have the big organization, not more than 10,000 companies. And someone said that we have only 4,000 companies. It's a lead of the GDP economy in Thailand. So it's not only in Thailand as well. It's also in the ASEAN region. And well, when the world economic situation is not in the good shape, the first we, all our people that present more than 1/3 of the population here. Today we have 650 million people population. So 1/3 is how much? More than 2 million. So if more than 2 million people still struggle, so what will be the economic GDP figures for all the country? They say that we have the good GDP part, but if you're talking about in China, they said the part they have more than 2-digit GDP growth. But the point is that in China, they have less and less poor people. The people don't have any struggle. They build up the system. They build up the system for me, for Thai SME Council. Before, when we starting to cooperate for this one, we realized that okay, now we have to support for the SME in Thailand. But it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. We have to think in the future that because of the digital technology, establishing ecosystem for Asian enterprise in the digital economy is facilitated. So the digital coming, we know that about the industrial revolution of 4.0. How come we talking about the new technology? But SME in each country maybe we talking industrial revolution 4.0. I don't know what is a 4.0. Many people talking about we have to achievement for the 4.0 of industrial revolution. No. Industrial revolution 4.0 is one of the mechanisms to build up the structure. We have to looking for the 5.0. But the point is that if you only have the infrastructure, you have the hardware. But if your software and your people are still not going there, it's meaningless. So now, for SME part, we would like to build up, not 4.0, maybe 2.0 or 3.0. But we have to strengthen them. They are the backbone economy of the country in ASEAN as well. So, how could we realize, how to be materialize in the future? How to be materialize in the future? Thai SME Council, 4 years ago, we are mainly thinking that we want to support and build up the sustainable for SME in Thailand. And now we realize that is not enough. We have to build it up in this region among Asian countries members. Why? Why? You look at the European community. Why they have to support to to build up that region together. We cannot be the highest GDP, we cannot be the highest export anymore. I have a chance to discuss with the chairman of the Halal Development and Corporation of Malaysia. I have the discussion with the Minister of the Industrial Trade Ministry of Malaysia. Before 3 days, they dissolved the parliament. Have shared together that we have to cooperate among ASEAN countries. We have to build up the cooperation and to be the hub of the world supply, not only for the food industry, not only for the products supplied from non-Islamic country. We have to look for also supply to the Islamic country as well. Islamic country have the 1.8 billion population, have the trade value more than 3 trillion US dollars worldwide, 58 countries. Why we ignore for that part? Why we still looking for just only for the American market or looking for the European market? Why we don't consider about the Islamic country? It doesn't mean that if we get the Halal certification, Halal certification is the one to support you that you can supply your products everywhere in the world. Everywhere in the world. So, in Asia, the topic of the future lies for ASEAN SME country. What will be that? We would like to be the hub of the food industry supply in the world to both non-Islamic and Islamic countries. Yes, everybody will say like that. So, how could be that? It's a time now that we have to be unity among the Asian community. To be unity to strengthen our economic and our culture here, to be the hub of the product supply from SME in the world. Thai SME Council, that I said that now we have more than 150 associations and members together with more than 150,000 companies together. So why we don't join together? We need ASEAN SME Council to be under one single roof, to cooperate each other. We cannot say that Thailand would need to be, we have the GDP, we have to be the export market, to be the hub. No. I'm talking with the Malaysian country, Malaysian Deputy Prime Minister. We have to support each other. Malaysians would like to export the products around the world, mainly they try to support also for the Islamic country. They know that in Thailand we have nearly 3 million SME. They have only 900,000 SME. They have 9,000 SME. They have the idea that they have the body already. In Malaysia, I have to accept that they are going very fast. They have the organization in both of the government part and also for the private organization to support each other. And now it's not enough. We ASEAN country, we have to join together. So what will be our join together and what will be the target? Yes, everybody know that for the SME, what they are looking for. They want financial support, leads to financial, they want the marketing, they want the knowledge, innovation, technology. Yes, everywhere in the world is the same. But if we can start, in Thailand we have 3 million SME. We have only 600,000 SME that can access to the banking system. And another 2.4 million, they cannot. Why? Because they are not have a good accounting. They don't know how to prepare themselves or document to ask the facility or financial support from the bank. And today it's not only in Thailand. Everywhere in this region is the same. Even in the past, in the Europe or in the United States, they also got the same problem because everybody, before they are the big organization, like IKEA, like many countries like Walmart, they come from small and medium. They're starting from the village, and now they are the large, they are the organization. The same. We have to be support in this topic. First, regarding for the financial part. In Thailand, in the future also, Thai City Council will try to build up the Center of Financial Facility for SME. But that's in Thailand. We have the ADB, ASEAN Development Bank. SME, in the future, even for the next 5 years, 10 years, we cannot support and asking all the SME to be in the system. Maybe it's good luck, we can have a 67%, but another 30 to 40% is still not. So we need the central facility, financial facility for SME part. And in the future, if we have the ASEAN SME Council, we can create and set up for the ASEAN Central Financial Facility for SME part as well. This is to support among the financial access financial for all the SME in this region. Second part, for the marketing. Now, yes, many platforms are put here, that talking about the future. The digital technology come, the digital transformation come. And what we need to do? We cannot ignore for the offline marketplace. Yes, last week I visited the meeting director, met the meeting director of the MCOT in Thailand. MCOT in Thailand also going to make the online, the TV online sale, and also the WhatsApp sale, and also through the mobile sales and so on. So we have the same idea that we have to support that one for the local one. Regarding for the export one, online market, anybody would like to fully cooperate with Alibaba? Sorry. Why everybody looking for Alibaba? Because Alibaba, they already are the market brand channel, the globalization one, that everybody knows. But how about us? One day we have to build up our own market brand as well. It's not easy, but we have to start. In this moment, nobody knows that even we have the Thai.com to sell the products to the digital online marketplace, but we cannot because we still don't have our own brand. In the future, if we can build up the ASEAN online marketplace among us, support each other. I don't want to make in detail because we have a constraint of time. But regarding for the offline market, why we don't cooperate together that each Asian country we should set up the permanent offline marketplace of the ASEAN products in each country. Now in Thailand, Thai SME Council cooperate with the Talat Toyota. The second one is a Trust City one. So that one, they want to have the permanent offline marketplace. But that one is not enough. We are in ASEAN member. We are in developed country. We have to support each other. We have to have the products, top 10 products or the products from Myanmar. We have the products from Vietnam. We have the products from Malaysia. All to be here. And every country will be here. We have a tourist, yes. When we have the tourists stop come to Thailand. Tourists Vietnam, they also would like to have a look, some buy some product from Thailand as well. But at that time, there will be the cooperation among us to support each other for the future. We cannot be alone anymore. Why we said about the business, we need a cluster, we need a partnership. But why we, SME in Asian country, why we not make the partnership? Like today, we're talking about the business matching. So I just inform you, this means that we, in the future, our council, we have more than 150 associations. We can set up, okay, which kind of business you want to do for. We can ask the president of each association to come, or the industry president come and talk together. And after they will classify the member to be the partnership and to make the business matching. Thus we can support each other for the marketing part as well. In terms of the knowledge, in terms of the innovation, in terms of the technology, I think that when we have the cooperation for ASEAN SME Council, this one will be the center. Will be the center and share each other. Yes. I don't want to take too much time for this one, but I would like to explain that in the future that we have to be unity in one single roof. And AAC or ASEAN SME Council will be the idea to starting, and hopefully that this organization will set up soon. Yes, we said we signed the MOU with the HSBC. Yes, very soon we will sign we already contract with to Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos, Indonesia, Philippines. Why? We want to build up this cooperation. This is a private organization, not belong to the government. It's a time being that the small and medium enterprise of this country have to be joined together. And hopefully that will be materialized very soon. Yes. Finally, thank you very much for the time that I make a presentation, and hopefully that in the future that Thai SME Council can support things to the Vietnamese. Please. Thank you very much.
So thank you for the presentation from Mr. Chaiwan Handsome Wong. And ladies and gentlemen, GI, Geographical Indication, is a wonderful trademark for development and commercializing the specialty of the local tea. However, how to increase the value, competitiveness of this product, the farmer and SME companies do need the support from the government and the trade promotion organization. At this seminar today, we are honored to have the presence of Mr. Pascal Buller, the CEO of Central Food Retail Group, GI Ambassador in Asia of UN, and he will share with us experience in developing and commercializing of geographic indication and specialty product of Asian country. Please welcome.
Good morning, everyone. So we are in technology. Mr. Falk made a very good presentation. We need to combine SMEs together too in Southeast Asia, but at the same time we don't forget our farmers. I think that's the root of every country, and I would like to represent them if I can today and speak about GI. So I'm a CEO of Central Food Retail Group, and we have been very proud to have been awarded as a GI ambassador 2 years ago. So I will not go through the Central Group vision because many companies they have their own vision. I just want to emphasize on one is on economic prosperity. And our aim is to support and to develop SMEs, to improve communities and to support all top development in Thailand. So our Central Group support community First, in terms of sourcing product, and we are quite strong to control the safety and guarantee the safety of the product, traceability and the sustainability. We and the team are working every day, not in Bangkok, but in the farm with the farmers in order to make sure that the products are qualified to a standard for the customer, and in the same time to support farmers in order to improve productivity and to work in a better safety. So what is geographical indication product, GI, which should be the next slide. I can show like this. So just a simple question to all of you. Next slide. Okay. What is the oldest GI product in the world? I'm sure you know. Some people don't want to say because they don't want to say that they drink wine, but some people they know. So it's Bordeaux in 1855 already, so it's more than 160 years ago. In Asia, we started a little bit late, after the year 2000, and one of the first products was in Thailand with coffee in the north of Thailand. So there is three parts to define geographic indication. And geographic indication, first of all, is intellectual property. That means as soon as it's registered, and there is hopefully now in ASEAN, especially in some countries, a strong reinforcement of the intellectual property. So first is the product. I think product quality, product definition is a key. For the time being, I just want to give an example for durian. It's very hot topic in Thailand. We can see that our neighborhood friend Chinese, they buy a lot. Alibaba said 80,000 durian in 1 minute. JD.com said 200,000 in 1 day. So it's a huge market for export. How to control quality of this product and how to control the traceability of the production and the traceability of the first labor which is doing this. Second is to support the producer know-how, and this one in terms of organization, and especially in Thailand, I can speak about it, the government is supporting quite a lot education of the farms, and the last one is the production area. If I take an example, all Thai people, I believe you know Phetchabun. Some of you maybe they know that tamarind is GI, and this GI tamarind, Phetchabun, has been registered already. So that means nobody can touch it. So that's a third part of geographic indication. And already in 77 provinces of Thailand, we aim tomorrow to have some geographic indication. So GIY, that's the next slide. So first is profit for the farmers, one. Don't forget, it's not inside my slide, but the health of the farmers using pesticides, especially synthetic pesticides, affect a lot their life. So it's not included inside, but affect at the same time on the right part, the consumer. If products are sold without control, it will affect their life too. So traceability in the middle, retailer are the key part to make sure that the product we sell is not only profitable, but in the same time in line with producer profitability life and consumer interest. Next slide is what is the benefit of the GI, and I want to give a simple example, paper. And you have three examples here, one from Cambodia, so I believe everybody knows the compact paper of Cambodia, which has the best image at the worldwide level. If you are a farmer, you get $15 per kilo. In Thailand, nobody can say where is produced paper. You get only $6 per kilo for farmer. It's just the same paper. And the last one in Vietnam is $5 per kilo. So you can multiply profitability for farmers by 3, just respecting some guideline. Your profitability will not be 3 times, maybe will be only 2 times what a Thai farmer or a Vietnamese farmer get, but by respecting the chart and by having a strong identification of the product, you can increase your profitability. So it's a little bit the mess in terms of Geographic indication, every country, they use their own logo. How, as a consumer, even myself, when I go to the store, I check the product coming from Italy, coming from UK, coming from France, coming from Thailand, coming from Vietnam. I'm lost. So, and I'm every day inside the store. So I believe the customer is not simple. So we need to unify tomorrow, I believe, not in 1 year because it will be impossible, but in a few years to unify at least the standard and the logo identification. We have been awarded by the UN as ambassador in Asia for the product, so it has been done, and the government is supporting us to sponsor and to help the farmers in 77 provinces. So the most famous one is Rochan Coffee. I just don't want to go on the process, and I put the QR code so you can scan it. I can move a little bit from the next slide. Okay. On the Thai Gap, which is very well done. It's a website done by the government, and it's already very strongly established in Thailand to support the agriculture practices and to share agricultural practices with farmers. Next slide, it's Thai Gap pyramid in 3 levels that Thailand established, and I put a very interesting article that you can have on the website from Dr. Statik at University of Chiang Mai. I invite you to read it, it's very inspiring, and that can help people to understand best practices sharing about the product. And we are working closely with Chiang Mai University. We are developing some strawberry, by example, with very unique species in Thailand. So let's keep the next one. You can see in the store now we have 100 product GI identification product that we are selling and promoting inside our stores. And at the end, I will stay a little bit longer on this one. So it's online. So back to Mr. Fog's presentation at the beginning. You cannot run business now without to think online to offline. So if you don't promote your product online, tomorrow, I give an example in China, 15% of the rice is already sold online. That's it. It's huge. When you see the Chinese market, and you can imagine that the Chinese eat rice every day, it's huge. It will be the same in a few months, not in a few years, in a few months in Thailand. As you know, as a Central Book, we signed a partnership with JD.com, which is the #1 e-commerce provider in China, in front of Alibaba. People will always speak about Alibaba, but it's a B2B, sorry. On the B2C pure is JD. And this website will open at the end of the year, I think in September, October. And in the same time, to promote Thai product in Thailand, we promote Thai product in global with the cross-border. So it's a strong opportunity for other countries to be cross-border, to be global website to sell their product. I will give an example for farmers because I told you I want to represent the farmers. In Thailand, it's maybe 20 million farmers doing every day. Maybe in Vietnam, because most of us here, or most of you, sorry, are Vietnamese, maybe 40 million. I don't know many farmers in Thailand. 90% of them are not prepared on such kind of technology. 5% are already trying to understand, and I visit some farm in Thailand to grow some shrimps, to grow some fish. They educate themselves by Google, and they know how to grow fish, they know how to grow shrimps just by Google method how to grow fish in a tropical environment. And these farmers are doing very well. And 5% of them are already inside the technology. I visited a farm 2 weeks ago in Udon Thani. She is doing 60% of their sales through Facebook. She has 40,000 followers, just a farm 40 kilometers from the big city of Udon Thani, so in the middle of, I don't want to say nowhere, but in the middle of countryside. 40,000 followers on Facebook, and she has 2,000 people who order regularly her product. and she can make money with this. Directly farm to producer, quality guarantee, you can visit the farm, you can eat on the farm, you can even harvest by yourself if you want to. So 5% already inside. So that is what I know from Thailand. In Vietnam, maybe it's similar, maybe not, but that's our job as retailers to educate farmers, and it's our job as people to support the farmers by having the right product. So that's the last slide to promote GI. I think we are a long way to go on this. It's already a good start in the past 2-3 years in Southeast Asia to develop this product. So if you have any question, please you can ask later, but I invite you to visit if you are not too far from Changwatanag. We have the store on the Central department store on B1, and you can see the reality in the store of what I say. Because to say things is one thing, but to do things is another thing. So please have a look. And second one for the food lover in the Central Shipdom, when we have a fantastic restaurant city, and where you can have GI to eat and to buy at the same time. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pastor. Ladies and gentlemen, in integration era, to access the global market, the company had to comply with international standards, especially in food industry. That is the reason why Vietnamese High Quality Product Business Association recently set up and developed the project named Vietnamese High Quality Product Global Integration Standard GIS to have and support Vietnamese company to build, maintain the quality management system in order to meet the requirement of international standard. To continue, we would like to invite Madam Vũ Kim Hạnh, the chairperson of Vietnamese High Quality Product Business Association, to share with us some activities of GIS project so far. Please welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest problem of the agriculture of Vietnam is the standard and quality. That's why we launched the GIS, the Global Integration Standard, 2 years ago. And today, instead of a long presentation, I would like to introduce a video film about GIS. Just 7 minutes. Thank you.